So up to 150,000 people expected today in the southern French port of Marseille as the 2024 Olympic flame arrived in France for the first time ahead of this summer's Olympic Games. The flame is to be transferred from the 19th century tall ship, the Belle before it begins a 12,000-kilometre torch relay across mainland France and the country's far-flung overseas territories. The organisers hoping its arrival today will really ratchet up excitement levels across the nation. Well, we're going to cross then to Marseille. We're going to talk to Selina Sykes, who's going to be there for us throughout the day here on France 24. Selina, I can only imagine, I've been to Marseille several times. It's a beautiful place, beautiful port there. I can imagine the excitement is beginning to build.
Certainly, Stuart. It's still fairly early here in Marseille, but as you can see, the sun is out and people are already out and about too for what is going to be a historic day for the city of Marseille and France. People we've spoken to since arriving here yesterday and this morning say that they're very proud that Marseille is the city that will be welcoming the torch onto French soil, and they really want to show that France's second biggest city is capable of hosting such big and prestigious events. And for organisers, it was really quite an obvious choice because of Marseille's links to Greece, where of course the torch has been making its way after being lit in Olympia. Marseille is France's oldest city, and it was of course founded by Greek sailors 2,600 years ago. So this is really a day of first for lots of people to get excited about. It's the first time the flame will be arriving by sea. It's also the first time that a city other than the host city will be welcoming it, and this is just a big day of festivities all round, kicking off at 11 a.m. with that maritime parade where the Belle will be accompanied by 1,024 boats. The Belle will then be making its grand entrance here behind me at the old port at 7 p.m. We'll be hearing the Marseillaise, France's national anthem. We'll also be hearing for the first time the Paris 2024 anthem, which will be revealed here and played by Marseille's national orchestra. There'll be fireworks, so a big day of festivities. But of course, the moment we're all waiting for, Stuart, is when the torch will be touching down on French soil. That honour has been handed to gold Olympic medalist and swimmer Florent Manodou. He will be making the first steps here on a floating track that has been installed behind me in the water. He'll be then arriving on French soil here with the torch. The Olympics cauldron will then be lit and it will be followed by a free concert. We could have a few surprises in store. There's a lot of questions here about whether Zinedine Zidane will be featuring. Of course, the World Cup winner is without doubt the sports figure, the most synonymous sports figure with the city of Marseille.
Selina, as Parisians, I'm sure you probably agree with me, it's been a little flat so far, the excitement for the Olympics, but the organisers are really hoping today, and that torch rally will kick things off in France, aren't they?
For sure. I mean, obviously, when France first won the Olympics bid all the way back in 2017, this day and everything that will follow it just felt such like a faraway concept. And obviously, Paris, there's lots of questions in Paris and everywhere in France about organisation, about security, about the cost, about whether France will be ready to host such a big sporting event. But I think it will be safe to say that after this day of so much pomp to welcome the torch here, and obviously when the torch now will touch down on French soil, it will be kicking off its long journey across France and its overseas territories. It will be crisscrossing throughout the country. People will be able to see it. That will all kick off from tomorrow on the 9th of May. And there's many big personalities already to get excited about. Stuart, the big football star Didier Drogba, will be holding the torch, as well as former NBA star Tony Parker.
Selina, thanks very much. Selina Sykes there covering the events for us today in Marseille. We'll be back with her in an hour's time, as she said, as the next stage of that gets underway.